Started, obviously, I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN. I found out this information a little earlier in the week, and really the only thing that I really ask is like, guys, could we wait until Monday? My brother's going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I really wanted to be about him, and I wanted to be about my family. I know this would, I said, this coming out will overshadow everything that he's worked his entire life for. And unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. And so, as I told him, as I profusely apologized to him earlier today, he said, bro, stop apologizing. You don't have to apologize. I'm your big bro. I'm going to love you regardless. We all make mistakes. And he says, bro, I love you. So I'm done with this. You're done with it too. Move on. And I really enjoyed my time at ESPN. It gave me an opportunity to bring my audience that saw me really just grow. They saw me, Lakers in five, and they saw me say all these analogies that my grandparents gave me, and I was able to bring that to ESPN. So I'm very, very grateful for that. But I just wished, of all things, like I said, hey, they did what they felt they needed to do, and I'm at peace with that. But I just wish, guys, I just wish this thing could have waited until Monday, because I hate the fact that I'm overshadowing my brother, the first two brothers in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and this is what the headline's going to be for the next couple of days. So, bro, again, I know you told me this, I don't have to apologize, but I'm going to do it one final time tonight, and I won't apologize again. I'm sorry that I upstaged you in this manner. That was never my intent. You've been my hero. You've been my role model from as long as I can remember. And I apologize, and I thank all my fans for supporting me when I was at ESPN and every place that I've been, be it Club Shay Shay, Nightcap, Undisputed, ESPN. Thank you guys for your support.
Yo, 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 it's Big Ant, the spokesman, man. We back. Another edition of Urban Politicians TV, UPTV. Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in, and I had a link in the description where you can watch that clip in the beginning in full at when Nightcap, Ocho Cinco, Shannon Sharpe, and it has been a wild day today in the sports world. We first got the news that Shannon Sharpe was fired by ESPN. Then it later came out that somebody who comes on to Nightcap as a guest and co-host with them, Gilbert Arenas, had been picked up by the feds for illegal gambling and supposedly lying to federal investigators. And I gotta say this, man, there's so many layers to speak on right here. And one of them is just a life lesson. Somebody told me back in the day, man, they want 2 weeks when you gonna leave a job, your 2 weeks notice when you gonna quit, but they don't give you a 2 weeks notice when they gonna fire you. Now, he's explaining it like he asked till Monday, and the thing is, man, the job ain't gonna never have you back when they made the decision to let you go and hold it down for you. They gonna be like, hey, you no longer with us. There isn't any type of legal obligation. We'll let it come out, and this is how they do. And, fair for Shannon Sharpe to ask. That was solid for him to attempt, because his brother is going into the Hall of Fame tomorrow. And it's crazy because I didn't even realize that, but people was talking about it in the comment section. He just interviewed his brother on his podcast to, acknowledge it, just talk about this event that's about to be big for them. It's like, man, they ain't gonna tell you nothing at all, bro. They when you fired, it's over. Hey, we done. If we ain't had to sign no NDA because of a type of legal situation or no lawsuit, man, they'll cut you high and dry, bro. That's what happens. Now, Shannon Sharpe is in a situation where he does have his other businesses going on, his other platforms with the podcast and also the Nightcap show. But this is how the game go. And also, when I look at it, I ask myself, did Shannon Sharpe I don't know if he thought this or is he just saying this now, that he was still good at ESPN? Because I keep it all the way 100 with y'all. When I seen him make that video in response immediately to the girl, Gabby, who had sued him and stuff, I said, yeah, that's not going to fly well with Disney, because of the fact he admitted that he had these things going on. That phone call had came out. I can't remember what happened first, but in his response, just him talking about the sex tape, saying that he was part of a sex tape and it should be this amount. This is a shakedown. Then also saying that she was an OnlyFans girl. Once that guy came out, you named the culprit and people were able to find her. They pretty much said this is going to be a media storm. It's too much information out there now. Now he had stepped away. They agreed to step away, but their decision was made right then and there. He said he knew earlier this week, but I'm like, bro, they knew the day that Shannon Sharpe went to the internet that this was happening. They knew that day he came on the internet and uploaded that video that this is over. And, you know, I didn't want that for him. I didn't want to see him lose his job. But I just know how these corporations work when it comes to this type of stuff, especially with you being a nigga. You can't have no stain on your name. Now, they can try to sweep it under the rug, but it's like, hey, you came in and you said what you said, and then the publicity being that negative, they don't even want to deal with the stuff. I even seen some of the other women in the media, sports analyst game complaining somewhere online about this stuff. So I said, oh, they finna go ahead and let bro go. And this is just how this game is, bro. It ain't no loyalty in it. You got a purpose. You got a job for them that you serving. If it's profitable, they don't want no negativity at all on it, and they'll get you up out of here. This is how this thing go. And it's just messed up that it did hit his brother this way, as him getting his opportunity to shine, but they gonna have the negative publicity around it, not at the event, not at the ceremony, but just in the spaces of the internet. Just the narrative on it, it's going to be written up that way. Adversity, drama connected to it with the last names. And yeah, man, that's a tough one right there, how that went down. And then also, I'll say this for like Gilbert Arenas, that one coming off crazy because of the fact it don't seem like that big a deal, bro. To me, I'm like, nigga just gambling, nigga just doing something that people do. But I guess when you get to a certain level and the feds get involved, it's the people he's involved with in the gambling that I feel like got Gilbert Arenas jammed up. I wouldn't want to see that for bro either, dog. Like, dang, he been having a successful podcast. And, man, he ain't finna get 15 years. Just me looking at it from afar. Maybe a little bit of time, maybe at most a year or something like that, because of the simple fact, like, hey, the max time gonna always be a lot, but a gambling situation is gonna probably be him. They said lying to the feds. If he's innocent until proven guilty, but if he is guilty of these charges, it'll be something light, man. It's just some bad press when you at the top of the game. Now I do understand, yeah, nigga, you know that you ain't supposed to be doing this, but man, it just seemed like he got caught up with the wrong crowd while gambling, and it took him down through there. But Shannon Sharpe, yeah, I would think that bro knew that they was gonna can him from the jump, man, and then that they wasn't gonna hold no loyalty and keep it solid. But tell me what y'all think. We got more coming, more videos, all that 1,000 for shit show. Stay on your.
I know I said this coming out will overshadow everything that he's worked his entire life for. And unfortunately, you know, it didn't happen that way. And so as I told him, as I profusely apologized to him earlier today, he said, bro, stop apologizing. You don't have to apologize. I'm your big bro. I'm